Hi, I'm Laurie Foote, and today I'm going to show you a rise and shine movement pattern that you can do when you wake up or anytime during the day when you need a pick-me-up, maybe during that afternoon slump, or if you've been sitting for a long period of time. This will get your limbs moving and your blood flowing and help you feel a lot better in your body. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we can just start by maybe moving our neck a little bit. Head's going around in circles, first one way and then the other. Paying attention to any spots where you feel a little discomfort or that may be tight or stiff. Especially if we've just woken up, we need to pay extra attention to our neck. Good, so again, first one way, then the other, respecting your range of motion and how you're feeling today. Good, nice job. You might want to nod yes, shake your head no, whatever's going to feel good on that neck today. Good, then we can start with those little ankles and wrists, the little joints that take us throughout our day. We use them so much, just about for everything, and sometimes we can take them for granted. So just a little rolling motion for both of those. First one way and then the other. Make sure you get both wrists and both ankles. You can also do some prayer stretches for your hands. Good, you can interlace the fingers, kind of roll the hands around, whatever's gonna feel good on those wrists and ankles. Just getting them prepared for our movement today. Great, continuing on with our calves. So I have a chair here. You can use a wall or any sturdy surface. I'm just gonna hold on to this and step backwards. So my heel is coming towards the ground. I have my weight on the front leg. You could also do this without the chair. So I'm really not putting a lot of weight on the chair. I'm just kind of using it for balance. So this is a dynamic stretch as opposed to a static stretch. This will get our blood flowing and get our calves ready for the movement that's to come. Good, and you can hold it a little bit longer here if you like. And just bend that knee and straighten. And make sure you do the same with the other leg. All right, great job. So we'll move on to arm swings. So we can swing the arms just in front and behind. Good, respecting your range of motion today. As we get a little bit more comfortable, you might be able to go a little bit farther. You can also go in opposite directions, so one forward, one back. Gives us a little bit more movement there. Good. And now we can do the same thing with the legs. So again, I'm going to use my chair here. You could use a wall or just any stable surface, a table, something like that. And just make sure you're steady on one leg. Swing the other one in front and behind. Not worrying too much about how far you go, but knowing that you will progress when your muscles get warmer. So maybe a little stiffer at first, but as you loosen up, you have a bigger range of motion. Great, and we can step to the other foot and give that other side a chance to loosen up. So your trunk should be very stable here. Hips should be stable as well. You're just bending at that hip joint. So the leg is really the only thing that's moving back and forth. We don't want to bend our back forward and back. Good, we don't really want to hinge at the hip. Just gently swinging. All right, give those legs a break for a minute. We'll go to those arms. So arms come all the way up and all the way down. Good. Control them on the way up and the way down. So we don't want them flopping down. And you might not get all the way up, right? Depending on how long ago you woke up or how tight you are. So just again, respect your own range of motion and where you are today. But just trying to keep the shoulders down while you lift the arms up. Good. Great job. I feel better already. I don't know about you. Good, just a couple more times. And then back to the legs. So again, using something to hold on to for balance, I'm going to lift one leg to the side. Again, the rest of my body is pretty still. I'm just lifting this leg and kind of swinging it out to the side with control. So I'm not letting it flop back, and I'm not just kind of kicking it out there. I'm controlling it on the way up and on the way down. Doesn't matter how high you get here. In fact, you probably won't get too high if you're really lifting it to the side. Sometimes we try to kind of cheat and we turn our body, right? But we don't want to do that. We just want to lift straight to the side, and then we can switch to the other leg. Make sure you're steady on that standing leg. Your weight's in your heel. Good, and you're just lifting and lowering that leg. You're using a little bit of momentum, but you still have control. All right, we can come back to the front. Feet a little bit more than hip width apart, and we're just gonna do some side bends. So nice and easy at first. We don't move laterally that much. So we usually move in the sagittal plane, which means front and back. We don't usually move in the side to side plane very much. So might take a little getting used to for your body. So as you do get used to it, maybe you can reach a little farther down your leg, and then you can reach up with the other arm. So really stretching those sides. All right, nice job. Good, last one. So we're gonna switch to arm circles now. So really carefully at first, we're gonna make big circles with our arms. So our shoulder joints move a full 180 degrees. We probably don't have that much mobility with our shoulders, but try to explore what you do have. So if it hurts, back off, definitely, but just explore, okay, how far can I go? How big of a circle can I make? And then you can go the other way. So you might find that one way is easier, forward or back, or you might find that one side has a lot more mobility than the other. Both of those things are normal. Both of those things are fine. Now, if you're really coordinated, you can go both ways at one time. I don't know if I can do it. Oh yeah, here we go. So just a little game for your brain as well, right? And then I can go forward with one arm and back with the other. And I don't even know how I can do that. So we'll work on that one. But last warm-up exercise, we're gonna do a trunk twister. So hands out in front, feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna reach one arm back. So twist at the waist. Again, respecting your range of motion and how you're feeling today. If you're pretty flexible, pretty limber, You might be able to get those arms open to a straight line. Good. Look over that shoulder. And then if you're really feeling good, we can add a knee. So reach the arm back, the knee up. Totally optional. But think about pulling that knee up just like a crunch if you're doing that knee lift. So just like a standing crunch. All right, last one, each way. Oh, all right, great job. All right, moving on to some strength exercises. I'm going to use my chair again, just for balance, and I'm going to do some calf raises. So feet is even on both of my, or weight is even on both of my feet, and I'm just going to come up onto my toes. Good, and I can feel that calf muscle in the back of my leg squeezing as I hold it there. So think about lifting your heels up rather than just coming forward. Good, squeeze at the top, hold for just a second, and then come down. Great job. All right, I'm gonna face forward again, but I do have this bench right here. Feel free to use a bench for this one if you'd like. We're just gonna do some nice easy squats. So feet a little wider than shoulder width, and we're just gonna bend our knees, hinge our hips a little bit, and come down, just like we're sitting in that chair. So if you wanna use a chair, I'm just sitting right onto it and coming up. So I'm just tapping my rear end on that chair. Not coming down on it with all my weight. Good. And then if you find you don't need the chair, you can just do them freestanding. You can also add a reach up and down. Good. So when I reach down, you see how my head and chest and shoulders is still staying up. So I'm not tipping over, right? I'm just reaching towards the floor. Good, last one, we're gonna change this. So my feet come in a little bit. We're gonna change it to a hip hinge. So I'm just gonna hinge at the hips and see how my body kind of makes an L shape, right? So only go as far as you feel comfortable. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings right along the back of your leg. So abs are tight. We're using our abs to hold our trunk in place to protect our back and keep it neutral. Good, and then to pull in when we come up. Good, and you can add a reach here. This would be reach out in front. So it's like you're reaching over your head, but your head now is horizontal. Great job, a couple more of those. Nice, okay. For this one, we're just gonna be marching in place. You can add a little clap or tap underneath your knees if that feels okay. So again, when we think about marching or doing knee lifts, think about pulling that knee towards your chest with your abs, just like a crunch. So you're using your core to pull that knee up. So it's not really so much work in your legs, it's actually more of an ab exercise or a core exercise. Great job. So if you're unsteady in this, again, you can use that chair. Just make sure that you're not leaning on the chair, you're not using it too much, right? We want you to work on that balance, work on that stability. Great job. All right, you know how you're outside and you park in a parking lot and there's that curb that you need to step over. So we're gonna pretend that we're doing that. So just lift one foot, step it over the curb, and then the other. Then we're gonna step back. Good, so we're gonna use the same foot. So step over. Sometimes it's that second foot that we drag on the curb and that makes us fall. So pay attention to that first foot but then really pay attention to that second foot as well. So let's switch feet. Other foot starts, and then don't drag that second foot. Lift it way up. Good, so stepping over that parking stop. Great job. Almost there. All right, so we still have our parking stop right here. This time I'm going to turn to the side and I'm going to step over it to the side and to the side. Good. So this comes in handy sometimes too if we have little pets that like to run into our path. We can't always tell when they're going to be coming towards us or which direction. So it's good to practice this from all directions. So last time, and then we're going to turn, face the other way, and step over the curb the other way. So lift that front foot, lift that second foot. Good. Try to get that second foot just as high as you did the first. And you can also think about crunching those abs here. So pull the knee up, crunch the abs. Good. Last one. Okay, so switching to a reverse lunge. So right here, I'm gonna hold onto my chair at first, and I'm just gonna step back and bend my knees. So what it looks like from the side is this. So step back. So make sure you step back far enough, you have some space between your knees. You don't want a narrow stance because look what happens, right? I'm not as steady that way. I want to step back wide and I have a big base of support underneath me. So that helps me balance, and it also helps me when I push up to get up. So you don't have to go too deep here. Again, respect where you are, right? So you can just stay up here and just have a little bend in your knees, which is just fine. Good. All right, our last exercise today is a wall or chair push-up. So I'll show you on the wall. This is it's a little bit easier if you do it on the wall because the wall is closer to you. So, shoot. So our last exercise is a chair push-up or wall push-up. I'll show you on the wall first. So you can stand a little more than arm's length away from the wall, right? Because we want an angle here. We want our body to be at an angle. So I'm going to put my hands on the wall. You could also come to it and then step back for that angle. And here, I'm going to just bend my arms and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. You can do the same thing on a chair or a bench. The important thing that I want you to learn here is I don't want the belly to sag forward, and I don't want your booty to pop out and back. So we want our body in a nice plank position, a nice straight position. So here's what it looks like on the bench or on a chair. This is a little more difficult because the angle is steeper. So I have my plank position here, my straight body, and I bend my arms and I straighten up. Bend my arms, straighten up. But my neck and my back and everything from my knees to my shoulders is in a straight line. A couple more of those. Last one. All right, fantastic job. I hope you feel better than you did when you started, and you can use this quick 20-minute workout to give you energy throughout the day whenever you need it. Thanks a lot.